I understand that you are a noted published author. What are the titles of your books?
Well, I wrote 3 books. The first one here is called May I See Your Hand. And the reason I wrote this was because I was looking for the book I learned on and I couldn't find it. So I wrote this to help people. And when I teach classes, everybody's requirement is they have to buy my book. So I just taught a class here in my house last week. Next week I'm teaching one for the city of Longmont. And in June I'll be teaching another one for the city. So I teach about once a month. And so far I've taught over 3,024 people from this book. So this was my first book, and I'm proud of that. Then I wrote a second book called Soulmate Connections. And someone gave me the title of The Love Psychic, and I didn't like that, and I changed it to Soulmate Connections, or to the Soulmate Specialist. So I wrote this book to help people who seek a soulmate or who are with someone and don't know if it's their soulmate. If they're unhappy, I show them what's out there, or what they could have if they were free. And so I wrote the book to help people, and I said I like to help people. So this is my favorite book. So I've sold the most of this one, and I love it. And the first 17 pages have things in there that nobody ever tells you, like mistakes not to make this time, questions to ask, qualities to look for in a mate, and I give you 15. I thought of more after I wrote the book, so I like this book. That was the first one came out in 1996. This one came out in 2003. 2004, I wrote everything that isn't love and isn't teaching, which would be murderers, kidnappers, embezzlers, blackmailers, everything else. And so this is called The Diary of a Palm Reader. Now I just finished a book that I had edited, and I'm just completely punching it up now. And it's a fiction book called Cruise to the Other Side. And that book is a paranormal. So these 3 I already have out, and hopefully I'll get a publisher for the new one.
What made you concentrate on soulmates?
Well, the average age of the people that I read are between 40 and 60, and it's men and women, and they say, there's nobody out there, I can't find anybody. And I look right in their hand and show them, well, there's the one waiting for you. You have 3 opportunities, all you need is one. And I sort of push them out the door a little bit. I tell them they maybe should go take a class or volunteer, or go to a singles group at a church, or something non-invasive where it's group meetings to start with. So,
How many people have you put together over the years who are true soulmates?
I have 3 scrapbooks about this fat full of wedding invitations, and there's over 3,000 people, so I would say 1,500 couples.
Can you see in a person's palm if they are not with their soulmate?
Yes, and sometimes I have couples sitting here right in front of me, and I can't say that. So then the next day the wife will call me up and say, so what didn't you say? And then I tell her on the phone what I held back, because I don't feel like hurting people's feelings in front of the other person. But a lot of people are married and they're too afraid to get out of what situation they're in, or they like the security or the money. And so sometimes that's good enough for them. I just don't believe in settling.
How many people have you read in your palmistry career?
Right now I'm up to 50,782.
Wow. And how long have you been a professional palmist?
Well, I started when I was 10 years old, but I really didn't go professionally until 1996 when I got married this time. And this husband said, I have enough money for all of us. I was raising his 2 kids. And he said, why don't you just do this full-time instead of part-time, where you do it at lunch and early in the morning before work and on weekends. So he created a cookie monster because I could work 70 hours a week if I wanted to.
Do you ever read your own palm?
All the time. Now, I didn't. I used to always ignore mine, but after I'm in the 3rd marriage, so now I know to look and I pay attention.
When did you start reading palms live on air from your computer?
Probably 20 years ago.